Hello, my name is Mary Rose. I have prepared this PowerPoint presentation to explain why people control. Controllers use power over others to get them to do what they want, to stop those others having what they want, or to diminish them as people. Essentially, there are two sets of reasons why people use their power over others. The first set of reasons come from the way our society is structured. The second set come from people's individual beliefs. Let's deal with the social structure set of reasons first. The main organisational structure in our society is the hierarchy. One thing you will notice is that there is usually only one person at the top, and as you go down there are more people on each level. Just as an aside, this form of organisation goes a long way back. You could say we inherited it. It's not difficult to see who's in charge. Back to human hierarchies. Our education system, judicial system, the public service, and most corporations are built on the hierarchical model. Much of the power in our society is wielded through these systems. Hierarchies are everywhere. Because we were brought up with hierarchies, and because we are surrounded by them, we think hierarchically, from top to bottom, from first to last, from largest to smallest. We are so used to it, we don't question it. People get their power from their position in the hierarchy. The higher up they are, the more power they have. The top of the hierarchy confers position and wealth, which people value because it gets them things they want. Not just beautiful women and fast cars, but also the freedom and resources to do what they want to do. As well, being at the top of the hierarchy gives power over other people. Some people enjoy directing and bossing other people around. Because hierarchies hold out the lure of rewards like wealth, freedom and command, we accept their place in our social structure. The trouble with hierarchies is that the only way to have real autonomy is to be at the apex. Otherwise, people are at the whim of the person above them. People think that in order to gain more control over their own lives, they need to move up the ladder. They can pull themselves up, but with limited room, they can only do it by bringing those above them down. People also protect their current position by exerting their power over those beneath them. Because of our hierarchical systems and thinking, some people think that in order to get more power over their own lives, they have to seize power over other people's lives. In this way, power over our own lives becomes confused and mixed up with power over others. This mindset is so prevalent that unfortunately some people take that thinking into their personal relationships. This is how our social structure leads to controlling behaviour. The second set of reasons for why people use control in their relationships comes from their individual psychology, or their values and beliefs. There are a number of these given in my book. For now, we'll have a brief look at two of them. Some people's main outlook on life is fearful. They are usually more scared of what might happen than what is actually happening. And there is a distinction between when people are afraid for themselves and when they are afraid for others. When they are afraid for themselves, they try to subdue their fear by controlling what happens around them. That stops any nasty surprises. It also keeps them away from any situations they may find scary. Their control may take the form of stopping others socialising, making other people do their outside business, using others for protection, or trying to instill their own sense of fear into other people. Another reason why people can be controlling is having an overarching sense of superiority. These are the people who really do think they are higher ranking, smarter, better, and more deserving than everybody else. Because they think they deserve more, they control other people to make sure they get the best and the most. They also control to make sure other people recognise their superiority, so they put others down to maintain their higher rank. Their control can take the form of bossing other people around, diminishing them by ignoring them, patronising or insulting them. So as you can imagine, neither of these beliefs are helpful for relationships. I think control is the biggest contributor to unhappiness in relationships. So far, we have looked at it as if one person is the controller and their partner is the recipient. But in real life, it isn't that simple. There are other forces at work. There is control and there is resistance to control, and they continually interplay. It works like this. If I push you, then you will either stay firm or most likely push back. That is resistance, and we resist because we don't like being controlled. It violates our sense of self. We want to be our own agents, to live our life as we want to, not how someone else wants us to. A person's self-identity and autonomy is the most precious thing they have, and people go to great lengths to protect it. So you can see here is the simple dynamic of the power struggle: control resistance or control and control back. In my book, I use the terms controller and partner to show who is controlling in that particular interaction. But I am not saying that there is one controller and one controlee. The control can change from one partner to the other. And, if we are honest, at some time or another, we all indulge in controlling behaviour ourselves. If you would like to know more about control, this is my book. It goes into detail about why people control, and it tells what behaviours and patterns to look for. It also explains resistance behaviour and how to tell who is resisting and who is controlling. But then what? We all know how we feel when we've been put down or treated badly. There is a mixture of wanting revenge and feeling diminished as a person. The long-term effects of living in a power struggle, or worse, under the domination of a controller, are not good. Loss of trust, loss of self-worth, depression, anxiety are some, not to mention physical illness. Either being controlled or controlling others is not good for us. Unfortunately, I don't have a magic wand, but in the end we need to find power over ourselves. It is only after we achieve that can we move forward. We can learn to control ourselves rather than the people around us, and we can learn how to stand up against control being exerted over us. There are strategies in the book about how to reclaim our personal power. Things like making and enforcing boundaries, casting off irrational beliefs, and moving from the concept of self-esteem to the concept of self-acceptance. I guess the question everyone wants to know is how to change their partner, how to stop them being controlling, because everybody thinks it is really their partner who is the problem. Unfortunately, we can't. If we set our personal boundaries and stick to them, it may bring about a change in our partner, or it may not. However, what we do gain from having power over ourselves is the strength to deal with the situation and take steps to protect and look after ourselves. To wrap up, my last word is, the power to influence is greater than the power to control.